Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to solve Advent of Code 2022 day 4 problem, which is camp cleanup. So here we have given some set of range, and we have to find the overlap interval. So for example, if we here our first range is 2 to 2 comma 4 to 6 comma 8. So if we see, if we draw 2 comma 4 and 6 comma 8, this is a completely non-overlapping interval, right? Now if we draw 2 comma 3 and 7 comma 9, this one is completely a non-overlapping interval. If we draw it, you will get it. 5 comma 7 and 7 comma 9, 5 comma 7 and 7 comma 9. This is overlapping at 0.7. This interval is overlapping at 0.7. So if we draw like 5 comma 7, and it will start from 7 to 9. So this is overlapping here. But here we have to find the interval which is overlapping, which contain one interval contain in another interval. Okay, so here we have to find the total number of interval which exactly contain another interval. So for example, if we check 2 comma 8 and 3 comma 7, so if we draw check 2 comma 8, let me draw here 2 comma 8 and 3 comma 7. So if we draw it, 2 comma 8 and 3 will be starting from somewhere here, and 7 will be ending here. So if we see 3 comma 7, 3 to 7 is inside 2 to 8. So we have to find this type of interval in this set. So if we check this one, so our count will be 1. If we check 6 comma 6 and 6 to 4, so 6 to 6 and 4 to 6. If we draw it, 4 to 6 here and 6 to 6 will be exactly here. So if we see, it is inside this interval itself, like 6 to 6 is inside 4 to 6, right? So we have this one also, this interval also contain one interval contain another interval. So our count in that case is, current count is 2. Now if we check 2 6 and 4 8, if we draw 2 6 and 4 to 8, this is completely, one interval is not inside another interval. So if we draw like 2 to, if our interval is 2 to 6, then 4 to 8 will be like from here to somewhere here. And if we check, both interval are not containing, one interval is not containing in another interval. So this one is the idea. So here we have to find how many intervals are there which exactly contains another interval. Okay, so we have to find the total number of count in the part 1. Okay, so let me just create a formula for the same. So suppose if you have one interval, like interval starting from x1 to x2, not x2, x1 to y1, and interval from x2 to y2, then formula for this will be, let me just draw the formula. So formula for this will be, if x1 less or equal to x2 and y2 less or equal to y1, then this condition, this x2 comma y2 will contain inside x1 comma y1 interval. Another possibilities will be x2 and y2 and x1 y1. So in this case, what will be the formula? X2 less or equal to x1 and y1 less or equal to y2. So if we find use this both formula, in that case we will get the interval which containing another interval. So let me just use this formula in our code. So let me just go to the code. I'm not cleaning this up, I will be using this formula. Okay, so first declare one variable total equal to 0. This is the total number of count. I'm opening with open input.txt. So I have copied input means input given by advent code. Now read line from okay. Now I will just add x1 comma y1 equal to, or just let me just extract individual line first. Chords equal to line dot strip dot split. So I'm going to split it with the comma. So I'm going to split it with the comma. So if you see, this one is the first interval, this one is first interval, this one is second interval, and it is separated by comma. So I'm splitting it with comma. Later I will split it with the this dash, so that I will get individual x1 x2 y1 y2 value. Now this one is done. Let me just move it a little bit this side. Okay, now I will draw x1 y1 equal to, I will write list map int and chords of 0 dot split with dash. Why I'm writing this? So I'm just converting, since after splitting this individual string, the coordinate will be in the string format, so I am converting it into the integer format. Okay, so that's why I have written like this. Copy this one and do the same for x2 y2 as well. X2 y2. Now apply this formula. Okay, so what is the first formula? If x1 less than equal to x2 and y2 less than equal to y1, in that case increase total plus equal to 1, or x2 less or equal to x1 and y1 less or equal to y2. If this is true, then increase total and at the end print total. So let me just run this code. So here I have applied both of the formula. So let me just run this code. cd day4 python 3 main.py. Okay, so it is giving me output as 1000. Okay, so let me just check the output. No, something is wrong. Okay, so here was the mistake. So here I was initially I was passing, since I had copied pasted it, so I forget to rename it as make it as index 1. So it should be index 1, right? And at the end print total. So if we print total, let me just run again. I will get 524 as a output. So this is the correct output. So if we check, it is 524, right? So this one is done. So first part is done. We have successfully completed first part. Now if we move to the second part, let me just clean up the screen. Let me just move to the second part. In the second part, it is saying that we have to find all overlapping intervals, including completely overlap interval and single overlap interval. Okay, so if we see 5,7 and 7,9, this is overlapping on 7. This is not completely overlapping interval. 2,8 and 3,7 is completely overlapping interval. 6,6 and 4,6 is completely overlapping interval, as we have seen in the past, and 2,6 and 4,8 is also a single point overlapping interval, like here 2,6. If you draw it, and 4 will be starting from somewhere. So if you see, this is overlapping, right? So we have to calculate all the points which all the points that are overlapping somewhere. Either it will be completely or at any point. Okay, so let me just calculate the draw the formula, means then we will write the code for the same. So let me just clean this up first. So as so suppose if we have point x1 comma x2 and point y1 comma x not y x2, my bad, make it as y1 x1 comma y1 and another point x2 comma y2. So what will be the overlapping condition? So overlapping condition will be if x2 less or equal to y1 and y2 less or equal to x1. In that case, this will be overlapping on any point. This will be overlapping at any point. Okay. The second scenario will be x1 y1 and x2 y2. So what will be the second scenario? Second scenario will be x1 less or equal to y2 and y1 less or equal to x2. So if this condition satisfied, it means it is overlapping at any point. Okay, so let me just reuse this formula in our code to calculate the overlapping points. So I will be going to reuse the existing code. So let me just rename the variable part. I'm just making it as part1, part1, part1. Okay, I will again initialize another variable for part2. I will reuse this formula. If x2 less or equal to y1 and y2 less or equal to x1, or x1 less or equal to y2 and y1 less or equal to x2, then part 2 plus equal to 1, and here I will just print part 2. Okay, let me just run again. Okay, so I'm just getting 293 as output. Why is that? x1 less than y2, x1 less than, okay, x2 less than y1, x2 less than y1, y2 less than x1. Sorry, here I have written the wrong way. So here it will be x2 less than y1, which is correct, but this will be instead this will be y2 greater or equal to, here y2 greater or equal to x1. So just change it, y2 greater or equal to. Okay, then let me just check this one also. X1 less or equal to y2, which is correct, and x2 y1 greater or equal to, it should be y1 greater or equal to x2. So it should be y1 greater or equal to x2. Now let me just calculate. Okay, so I'm getting 798 as an output, which is the correct output. 798 is an output, which is the correct output. If we submit it, okay, so this is already I have already solved it, so it is saying you have already solved it. Okay, so this is how it is working. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel.